you didn't know, there's actually a success type personality that exists in the world. There are 7 traits of successful people that if you can implement into your life, you will ultimately be successful. Now, these are 7 traits that you may not have right now, but if you continue watching this video, don't click off. You can get these traits into your life as soon as possible and start to live a successful life. You will ultimately be able to live out your wildest dreams, achieve any goal you want. And these are 7 traits that are in this book, Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz, which is essentially a book about changing your brain, changing your self-image, so then you can achieve your goal. Maxwell Maltz talks about in the book Psycho-Cybernetics how our brain is a goal-oriented mechanism, basically. Any goal that we want, our brain will find a way to achieve that goal. I'm 23 years old. I have been able to get married at 22, own my own house. Obviously, I want to grow a lot more and be even more successful in my life. These 7 secrets of success that Maxwell Maltz talks about are absolutely essential if you want to continue to grow and explode your growth, like grow exponentially. There's going to be a link in the description to buy Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. I would suggest buying this literally right now, immediately. It's affiliate link in the description, which will also help me out. But buy this book and your life will transform. It is a huge asset into your life. If you want to be successful, please, you need to purchase this book right now. The first ingredient for a success type personality that Maxwell Maltz talks about in his book, Psycho-Cybernetics, a sense of direction. A sense of direction means you need to have a clear-cut goal, set clear intentions and have a clear goal and a purpose, so then you can work towards that. Maxwell Maltz mentions in this section of the book that we are engineered as goal-seeking mechanisms. Our psychology, the way we're built, our brains are engineered to achieve the goal that we set out for ourselves. So if you want to be successful, you need to have a sense of direction. You need to have a clear-cut goal that you're working towards, because your brain will find ways and methods to achieve that goal. Many people, even me, have felt in the past that our life has no meaning. There's no clear-cut goal we're working towards. It feels like we have no purpose. We just wake up, maybe go to school or go to work and live life on autopilot, not really having a clear goal, and then like repeating day after day and feeling like there's no purpose in our life. That's something I've personally felt. But once I remember this sense of purpose and direction, I'm able to snap out of it and work towards my goal, which is growing my YouTube channel and providing value to anyone who watches these videos. So you feel lost in your life because you have no sense of purpose. You don't have any goal in your head. You don't have any project that you're working towards, that you look forward to. So you need to have a clear-cut goal that you look forward to. You are built to conquer. You are built to solve problems, and you are built to achieve your goals. That is who you are. You may not feel like you have that in you, but all of us as humans, that is what our brain is programmed to do. That is what we are built to do. That is what Allah or God has programmed us to do. We are built to conquer and achieve our goals. We are very powerful as humans. It's something that you need to realize as soon as possible. And if you don't do that, if you don't conquer or achieve your goals, your life will have no satisfaction at all. Just like you feel like you have no purpose in your life, it's because you have no goal that you're working towards. So obviously, you probably feel no satisfaction in your life. So here is a prescription, or basically like a call to action, because Maxwell Maltz, the author, he's actually a face surgeon that started to learn about psychology so he can learn about why people want to get facial surgery, what's the psychology behind it, and how people can improve their self-image and view themselves different without having to do surgery. So the prescription or the call to action that you need to do immediately, that you can do right now, literally you're watching this video, you can pull out your notes app or you can write down on a piece of paper. You need to decide on a project worth working towards. Decide on something that you will strive towards, something that you will look forward to working towards every day, that if you achieve, you will be so happy and satisfied and you will be proud of yourself. You need to look forward to working towards something. Your life cannot be meaningless. Once you have a goal, a clear-cut goal, you will have so much power within you that you never even knew you had, because your brain is a goal-seeking mechanism. And there's something that Maxwell Maltz mentions of a very nice statement that he says. You need to have nostalgia for the future. So you know how you think about the good times in the past and you reminisce over it and you wish you relive it in your head, all the good memories and stuff like that. But what you need to actually do is, if you want to stop being a loser living in the past you need to have nostalgia for the future. Have a clear-cut goal and imagine what it would be like to work towards that and to achieve that goal. So make a clear-cut goal, a project that you're working towards. Work towards that forever until you achieve it and have nostalgia for the future. The second success type personality that you need to have right now if you want to be truly successful, it's understanding. Understanding is realizing that other people can get the same set of data as you. They can get the same set of facts, experience the same thing, but they will interpret it differently. No one reacts to things as they are. They react to their own perception. You need to realize that other people think things different than you. They are raised differently. They have different experience. They have different personality traits. They have a different way of viewing things. For example, you might know someone that's negative, that thinks, this might even be you, that thinks, oh, what's the purpose in living? Whatever I do, I'm not successful. They have a negative mindset perception of things. There's someone that experienced the same life, the same upbringing, but they will be like, I know I will be successful. I know I can achieve more. I know the situation is bad, but I will make the best out of this situation. So these are two different people in the same situation, but they have two completely different outlooks on life, even though they have the same set of data, the same facts. You need to have understanding of other humans. When you come across situations like this, when you're dealing with another human that's interpreting something differently, you need to ask this question: how does this appear to him? How does this appear to her? Many arguments and misunderstandings can just simply be squashed if you understand another person. This is what successful people do. They don't jump to conclusions. They don't assume things about others. They think, how does this affect another person? And they're truly sincere in that. That is how successful people are able to build up connections, build up their circle. They're able to understand people truly and see that even though the data is the same, the facts are the same, someone else can interpret it differently. And also a part of understanding is being able to admit when you're wrong, being able to admit when you are in error. So the prescription that Maxwell Maltz says for this success type personality of understanding is admit your mistakes and errors when you're wrong, but don't cry over them. When you make a mistake and error, you don't get stuck up on it. You see when you're wrong, you correct course as soon as possible, and you keep moving forward. Our brains are goal-seeking mechanisms, like we mentioned. Imagine a torpedo that is being guided to a target. There's different variables that happen when it's like trying to hit the target. For example, there's wind that's pushing in different directions. There's weather. There's different things that affects the missile, and the missile has to correct itself based on those variables. So that is called negative feedback. Our brains also use negative feedback to correct itself. So once you make an error or mistake, you need to understand that error, admit that you're wrong, use the negative feedback to correct course back to the target and purpose that you put into your head. Successful people understand that negative things and failures will happen, but they use the negative feedback to correct course and achieve their goals. The third secret to success, the third mindset hack, is to have courage. You need to have the courage to act. You need to realize that the only thing that causes you to achieve your goals, desires, and beliefs is to act upon them. You can't just imagine it in your head. You need to have the courage to act upon your purpose, act upon your project, and work towards it. Only then will you be able to achieve it. So a lot of problems will come up when you're striving towards your goal, but you need to realize this important quote. Everyone has probably heard this. The best defense is a good offense. When problems come up that take you away from your path or roadblocks come up, you need to address those problems as soon as possible. Act upon them. When anything tries to come in your way, you need to attack it. That is the best defense to defend against your goal not happening. It's also the best offense because it's taking you forward towards your goal as well. So you don't need to dodge any problem. You need to attack them head on. Have the courage to act. The difference between a successful person that achieves all their goals and a failure, someone that wants a goal but is a failure, is the ability to take a calculated risk and act upon it. Having the courage to act, it's nice to say, but it's not actually easy. You will have to put in money towards it. Yeah, you have to put in time towards it. And you have to understand there might be nothing that immediately comes out of it. It will be a grind. You might literally fail and you have to correct course and do maybe another method to achieve your goal. But the successful person is someone that takes calculated risks, and a failure is someone that wants something but never acts at all. The main narrative that gets pushed into our lives today, especially in the West, is you need to go to college to be successful. You need to get a degree. And then people spend literally tens of thousands, $50,000, $100,000. They go into debt for that degree. Some people that even I've experienced, there's a $500 course that I bought that I put off for months because I was scared to invest money in myself. But literally, like, I went to college just because society told me to, and I didn't really think about it. But when it's time to spend literally like even $500 on a course, or even when it takes like spending just like $20 on this book, everyone will second guess and be scared to put a small investment of $20 or a few $100s for their own personal success. They're not even willing to take a calculated risk on that. So if you're watching this video and you are willing to take a calculated risk, realize that that's your competition. People that are scared to spend 15 or $10 on a book, but they'll spend tens of thousands of dollars on college or other stuff just because society tells you to. So you need to pick out the course of action that gives you the most promise and go towards that. It needs to be a calculated risk, but don't make it like a dumb. You need to do your research, have a good plan, and then move towards that. Don't get stuck up on it though. Take immediate action. Have courage. Successful people have courage. Realize this too, a step in the wrong direction is better than staying in the same spot that you are now. Even if you take a step and it ends up being in the wrong direction, you had the courage to act, but it's the wrong direction, you have experience. You literally, like in the video game, you gained XP, you're leveling up your life and business skills. But if you stay on the same spot and you don't do anything, you're literally doing nothing and you're even regressing. Because your life would continue to go forward, you're staying in the same spot, so you're literally going down. But if you take a step in the wrong direction, you'll go up a little bit, because you're getting experience. And then once you're finally on the right path, you literally explode up. That is the point. You need to have courage to act. So the prescription for this book that Maxwell Maltz mentions is take a bet on yourself, act on a calculated risk, and be willing to feel pain in the process. The pain is a necessity. Realize the pain will happen, but you can use the pain to grow like never before. That the people that don't take calculated risks, they will never experience that pain that you get from acting and having courage. Something you can do even right now is practice acting boldly in your day-to-day life. Literally, when you wake up with a purpose, act boldly. Like, wake up with energy. I'm a Muslim, so something that's a major teaching in Islam is that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said in a narration, actions are based on an intention. So you need to make sure that any action you do, there's an intention tied behind it, because it will allow you to keep moving forward. Even when roadblocks come up, if you have an intention behind an action, you will be so strong in that action because you have a purpose behind it and you have a goal. You need to act boldly in even little things. Anything that you do right now, you go to school, be the best person in school, be the best student. You're a worker, be the best person at work. Act boldly and courageously in little things, and they'll allow you to act boldly and courageously in the big thing that you go towards. The fourth success type personality trait, the secret that successful people employ in their life, is actually charity. Maxwell Maltz seems, just from reading the book, he seems like a very religious man, probably a Christian, and I'm a Muslim. So actually a lot of the things he talks about and the morals and teachings, I can literally relate to 100%. So when he talks about charity, you need to realize every single human is a child of God. Every person is a child of God. If you're not religious, you can have the same teaching. Realize that everyone else is a human. You are all the same. There's no really difference between us. We are all the same, going through the same journey. So you need to have respect for other people's problems. You can't just think, oh, I don't care about this person. I'm doing my own goal. I'm just going to continue to do that, and I don't care if this hurts anyone else. Realize we're all in this together. You need to have respect for other people's problems and needs. You need to build up connections with people. It's not a solo journey. There's no such thing as like a lone wolf. Successful wolves, they're always in a pack, because the lone wolf, it could go on for a bit, but it'll always die out. It will always be destroyed by the pack of wolves. So you need to be able to develop a pack. You can't be going on alone. You need to have a sense of community. You need to have a circle of people. You need to have respect for other people too. So you need to have a charitable view in that way. Maxwell Maltz mentions, if you feel like other people are not important to you, realize you yourself are people. So many of us may think like we're the center of the world. We might not think that exactly, but we have a solo view of the world. We have our own goals, our own things we want to achieve, and we just do that. We don't care about what anyone else does. That is actually very important, but it can only be to a certain extent. You also have to be charitable towards others. We talked about before in the second point, you need to have understanding towards others. You need to realize that other people are important. If you don't realize other people are important, you'll never be able to achieve success. Because if you have a goal you're working towards, it's probably having to do with the value that you're creating in the world, something that you're trying to sell towards others. You're trying to make money. That is something that's admirable. But you need to realize that other people are humans too. So you need to provide the best value for them. You need to respect them and have a charitable mindset towards them. If you do that in any business that you start or you want to grow in, you can have a charitable mindset, and that will distinguish you towards other people that may just try to be making money. So the prescription that Maxwell Maltz talks about for being charitable is realize other humans are childs of God. Or if you're Muslim, realize everyone comes from Allah. If you're not even religious, realize that everyone is a human being. We're all in this together. Take the time to think about the other person's feeling and viewpoints. If you do that, you'll be able to provide the most value towards them. You'll be able to get the most money out of them if you're trying to sell something, but you're also able to help them more and develop a connection with other humans. That is very important, especially in business. And especially if you want to have a successful personality type. Act as if other people are important and treat them accordingly. There's another hadith that we know from the companions of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, which is the leader of the Muslims, that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, he would treat everyone like they were his best friend. Everyone would think that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was their best friend, that he loved them the most out of everyone, because he treated everyone like they were amazing. He treated everyone basically like the way you would want to be treated. He treated everyone with respect and was charitable towards them. So that's the lesson that you need to implement as well. Treat people like they are important. Understand that people are important and actually treat them like that. The fifth success type personality secret and mindset hack that successful people employ is esteem. You need to cultivate a healthy sense of self-worth within yourself. So many people might think that they are lowly, that they don't deserve any success, that they haven't really achieved anything. But that is actually holding you back. It's not virtuous to think in a lowly way in that regard. You need to appreciate the success that you have. And everyone has experienced success, even in a small way. You might have went to the gym one time, that's a success. You might have went to school and gotten a good grade, gotten an A on a test. That is a success. Appreciate those small successes that you have. And realize that those successes that you achieved, they can be put into anything else, any other purpose or goal that you want to strive towards. Realize that any other successful person, they have the belief that they can succeed. That's what causes them to succeed. So you need to realize that you can succeed too. You have succeeded in the past, so you know that you can succeed in the future. Do not see yourself as someone that cannot succeed, essentially. So the prescription for this is, do not have a defeatist mental picture of yourself. Do not think of yourself in a defeatist way, basically. Don't think that you will be defeated. Believe that you will succeed. If you literally believe that, and you have the nostalgia for the future, you work towards that image, you can achieve it. And you need to also treat other people with that same value. Realize that they can succeed. They will be able to achieve whatever they want. So you need to treat other people in a success type of way as well. So I'll end it off with this quote from Maxwell Maltz that I really enjoyed because I'm someone that believes in God. I'm a Muslim. So even if you don't believe, just please listen to this quote. Why do men stand in awe of the stars and the moon, the immensity of the sea, the beauty of a flower or a sunset, and at the same time downgrade themselves? Did not the same Creator make man? Is not man himself the most marvelous creation of all? So literally realize that anything that we admire in nature, like the sun, the moon, the whole galaxy, realize that we as humans, God created us as complex and just as amazing as those things. So you need to have that belief in your head. You are amazing. You can succeed and achieve what you want. 6 success type trait Maxwell Maltz talks about in Psycho-Cybernetics. And if you haven't already, remember to please purchase this book. Link in the description. It will change your life. The 6th trait he talks about is self-confidence. Going back off the esteem things we learned right now, believe in yourself and have faith in your own abilities. You need to realize that success breeds success. Once you are successful, you will continue to be successful. And you need to understand that you will be successful. That is not arrogant. That is having confidence in yourself. If you don't believe you'll be successful, for example, then you will be a failure. And is that something virtuous? Is that something that will help you to achieve your goals? Thinking, oh, I will be a failure, or I don't know if I can achieve this. No, you need to have self-confidence that you will be successful and know in your head you will be successful. Because with this esteem point that we just talked about, you've achieved success in the past. You have achieved success. So realize, have some confidence in yourself that you will be successful again. That is not arrogance. That is self-confidence. You cannot let anyone tell you that is arrogance. You need to have the habit of remembering your past success and not your past failures. And most people do the opposite. They'll think about all the failures that they have and think, oh, I cannot do this. I failed in this. I failed in that. I will just continue to fail. I will never be successful in anything. So I'm just going to live a mundane, boring life. And then I'll die and basically my whole life has gone to waste. Do you want to live like that? No, we want to be successful. Do not think in the opposite way. Remember your successes, not your failures. Psycho-Cybernetics is a book that relates your mind to like a computer. A computer, when it makes mistakes, it doesn't get caught up in mistakes. When you are programming a program or something, there's mistakes and then you correct them until it succeeds. Your brain is also the same way. Use negative feedback to achieve your goal. The negative feedback will correct your brain and then you can move forward. Do not remember the failures that you've had. Remember all these successes. That way you can use your self-confidence to propel yourself forward even more and not be like a loser that just continues to basically stay broke and stay a defeatist. The prescription Maxwell Maltz talks about in this one is to use your mistakes as a learning. All successful people have made mistakes, but they learn from that mistake and they propel themselves up to their ultimate success. Just literally think about it. The way you grow the most is by your failures. Any successful person that you talk to right now, they will talk about how you need to fail to succeed. Failure is a necessity. Maxwell Maltz talks about this in the beginning of the book, so that I know you guys will purchase and read eventually, as soon as possible. Failure is a necessity. You need to realize failure is a necessity. It is part of the process. When starting a new task, call up the successes that you've had and remember those successes and act upon those successes. Act upon those feelings of success. Our minds right now, they're conditioned to be negative. But if you condition your mind to be successful, you will be successful. If you see a rich person, they continue to get richer. Why? Because success, it breeds success. And success starts first in your mind. If you're not successful in your mind, you will literally fail. It's that simple. So when you feel shaken or down, vividly remember your feelings of success and bring yourself back up and act as soon as possible. Have that courage. All of these lessons tie back in together. So the 7th and final thing from Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz on a success type personality, the ingredients, traits, mindset hacks, the 7th and final thing is to have self-acceptance. So you need to embrace and accept who you are unconditionally, including both your strengths and flaws. So when we talk about changing our self-image, all these success type ingredients and implementing it into our lives, we're not changing who we are as a person. All we're doing is changing our mental picture of ourselves. We're taking all the negative aspects that we focus on and we're implementing all the positive traits that we can have in our mind. All these positive traits you can implement too. I'm not someone special. Anyone that's successful is not special. We're all humans. We're all born as a base. We all have maybe born into a better area, a better family, more wealth, but the traits and mindset that we have is literally the same when we are born. So all we're doing is changing our mental image of ourselves, not who we are. We are being our authentic self with these success type traits and ingredients into our brain. You need to make the most of who you are as your authentic self, essentially. You already are somebody. Everyone is unique. You are someone. You can achieve whatever you want. So use your base things that makes you unique, your goals that you want, the experience that you had in your life, implement the traits that we have into this and go forward. Accept yourself for who you are. Do not try to change who you are. You will be the most successful once you are able to provide value in your own authentic, unique self. You already have all this within you. You just have to have the self-image and mental power to put these traits into your life. And all you're doing is releasing and utilizing these into your life. Your brain already has this goal-seeking mechanism and capability. So all you have to do is accept who you are and implement these lessons into your life, and you will change. All I'm doing is reprogramming your mind with these lessons. Maxwell Maltz is putting these lessons into our mind and it's programming it. But our mind already had the capability. We're not adding in addition to your mind, there's not second brain being put into your body. All these lessons, you already have the ability to do them. So all you're doing right now is realizing them and then utilizing them and acting on them. Realize that the negatives belong to you, but they are not you. Just because you make a mistake doesn't mean that you are a mistake. If you make a mistake, correct on it. That's negative feedback for you to correct course. Successful people, they have roadblocks, they have mistakes, and then they destroy them, obliterate them, so then they can continue to go forward. People that don't do that, they have a mistake, they have a roadblock, they stop there, then they stay there, they do not move forward. They basically end up moving backwards because they stay on the same spot. But you need to go off that spot and continue to grow. Just because you make a mistake doesn't mean you are a mistake. And your actual self is necessarily imperfect. God created us as imperfect. Allah created us imperfectly. We're created as sinners. We are not angels by design. Allah wants us to make mistakes, make sins, repent on it, turn to Him, and then make ourselves better from those mistakes. And if you're not religious, it's the same philosophy. When you make mistakes, you can grow from those mistakes as much as possible. If you don't make mistakes, you'll never be able to grow. You can't have sunshine without a cloudy or rainy day. There's no rainbow without rain. There's no good times without experiencing bad times. And once you experience those bad times, you'll be able to truly experience the amazing good times. And once you have mistakes, you'll be able to experience true success. They are all correlated to each other. You can't have one without the other. You can't have the ultimate true success without also experiencing true failure. Just so if you realize that, you won't be held back by failure. You will embrace it. It's part of the process, guys. So the final prescription that Maxwell Maltz talks about in this self-acceptance chapter is accept yourself for who you are. You can do this right now in literally 10 seconds. Think about who you are, accept yourself. Don't try to change yourself. Differentiate between yourself and your behavior. So you may behave in bad ways. This is a learning process. You may do stuff that is bad. You may make mistakes, but that is not yourself. That are mistakes that you made, and you don't put them back on yourself. You use those behaviors and mistakes, and you grow from them, and you change yourself from the lessons that we learned. So these are the 7 secrets to success that Maxwell Maltz talks about, but there's also something that's very important that you can implement. A very amazing secret from these lessons that you can use to remember all these lessons. There is a hack you can use to remember all these secrets and traits. If you haven't realized it, these 7 traits and secrets, these mindset hacks, all 7 of them, they spell success. It's actually an acronym. So the first one, sense of direction. Second, understanding. Third, courage. Fourth, charity. 5th, esteem. 6th, self-confidence. 7, self-acceptance. All those things together, the first letter in each of those traits, they spell success. So use these 7 secrets to success, these 7 mindset hacks, and implement it into your life immediately, and you will be truly able to be successful. You guys need to purchase this book, Psycho-Cybernetics, as soon as possible and read it, because it will change your life. I hope you guys have benefited from this video, and I genuinely know that if you guys implement these lessons into your life, you will be able to experience true success.